Coming up next, the final race of 2020 for the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstocks here on Home Track Heroes Monroe Grocery Outlet. They're the official grocer of Evergreen Speedway. You'll find name brand groceries and farm fresh organic produce for 40 to 70% less than the conventional grocery stores. Grocery Outlet, the bargain market. Let's go to Tom for the intro of the lineups.
Starting on the pole in the 007 car will be Nick Holton. Outside of Nick will be the 55J of Jessica Wilkinson. In the second row, it's the 51 car of Ryan Clark. That's the Miracle in Memories Academy car. And outside of him, the 36 of Bill Fleischacker.
In car number 11, sponsored by the Trafton General Store, that's Keith Cook. In the number 64, sponsored by GN Northwest Performance Auto Repair, that's Eric Allison. With an in-car camera, the 17 of Quentin Borison, sponsored by Mrs. Turner's Hometown Cafe. Another in-car camera in the car of Mackenzie Dietz, number 67, sponsored by BECU. Jillian Lopato, brought to you by Hager Motorsports. Get well soon, Rick.
Absolutely.
The scars look lovely, I must say. And in the number 32, Steve Cox with another in-car camera. Points are really crucial in this race. It's probably one of the tightest battles of any division we have this year. Coming up.
You're right, and you mentioned Rick Hager. I saw those scars. Holy mackerel. Halloween, early.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
And painful.
Yeah, but he's going to be back, and Rick, we miss you, and we wish you nothing but good luck coming up ahead of time. All right, let's get this thing going. It looks like they already are. We are underway with our Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8 main event for championship night number 2 here on Home Track Heroes. Points leader, like Tom mentioned, coming in, Steve Cox, looking to dethrone the 5-time champion, consecutive champion. It's got to be put that in that sense as well. The one-arm bandit of Quentin Borison with a great 2020 run by the 67 car of Mackenzie Dietz.
Well, you know, basically what has to happen, in this battle, Cox has got to finish in front of the 17 car. You know, if he can beat Quentin Borison, then he'll be the champion for this year. But man, think about it. Figure 8 racing, lots of contact, intersections and everything else, and you're battling for a championship too. So you got to be on your A game tonight. Yeah. As there's Cox in the 32 car, the orange one, and outside of him in that blue car, Quentin Borison.
And there goes the 51 of Ryan Clark. That car has been a really good performer this year. Ryan has gained so much improvement and so much good smarts behind the wheel. So congratulations to Ryan Clark for a really cool 2020 series. Also, good to see the 64 of Eric Allison back out here. Eric's always been one of my favorite racers in this class because he just does, it seems to me he does everything the right way. He races when he can afford to. He always brings his car out. It always looks sharp. He always keeps it good looking for the sponsors that he has. And I really like that guy a lot. And you can see him getting kind of bounced around a little bit there as he's working for position. But Steve Cox in that 32, that's kind of the car you want to keep an eye on because, boy, the pedigree and just people behind the wheel of that number 32 car over the years has been amazing.
You know, this has been a kind of a tale of two seasons.
It has.
Early on, Quentin Borison, was like just lights out dominant. And then the last couple of races, it's like they've lost a little something in that race car. And Steve Cox has kind of picked this game up. So first half, all Quentin Borison. Second half, Steve Cox. We'll see how it plays out here in 33 more laps.
And they are single file. Look at Eric Allison, that number 64 car in the lead, followed by Mackenzie Dietz. Steve Cox in the 32. Quentin Borison, as Tom mentioned, right behind him. Jessica Wilkinson. Bill Fleischacker having a good run early on in this one. And this has always been one of my favorite shots all year long as we see a car go slide through there. That's
the wrong place to slide through. That intersection? No.
Yep. No, another
it's
day,
bad
another
enough going
time.
Straight ahead, let alone trying to go through there backwards or sideways.
But they keep the yellow flag in the holster right where it should be. The car gets cleared out, and that should put Jessica Wilkinson in the back of the pack, which it does, as she gets that machine straight and around. The Wilkinson family has been so strong all year long, any division that they've run in, and we so look forward to next season and seeing what those guys do in the Pro Ford trucks and the Figure 8 divisions. It's just they're just such great supporters of this place and have been for a long time. Eric Allison still leading this thing. Mackenzie Cox still hanging in there with it. She knows the pedigree of the two guys actually behind her and the pedigree of the guy in front of her. So hats off to Mackenzie Dietz for hanging in there, making that Dietz name proud as always.
You know, I just noticed some of these cars have pink bumpers.
Yeah.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So it's kind of cool to see
It is cool.
this figure 8 division getting behind that car. You can see some front and rear bumpers. There's another 1, 2, 3, 4. Almost all those cars, at least the front bumpers, are pink.
All right, we've got a caution out with Ryan Clark has stalled out his machine.
Yeah,
so
you said something nice about him a couple laps ago.
Yeah, sorry about that, Ryan. You can send me an email and let me know how you feel about it. But again,
check under your car tonight when you start it.
May have to. And again, thank you to Monroe Grocery Outlet right here in Monroe for being behind us. They've been behind it ever since this
Right by the big old tower on the east end of
on your way out
Monroe.
of town. Great place to go and check out Monroe Grocery Outlet and their this little side business that they have called J2 Racing. And they're right here in Monroe as well.
John Haynes been a huge supporter. He and his businesses, I mean, have really stepped up and do so much for motorsports here in the Pacific Northwest, and especially at Evergreen Speedway.
Here's the view as Quentin Borson sees it, and he is working underneath Mackenzie Dietz on the outside all over the back bumper cover of the 32 of Mr. Excitement Steve Cox in a Mopar. It was funny when they were getting lined up and ready to go. I think they were getting ready to do a heat race, and somebody had yelled out to Steve Cox that, "What's it like to be driving a Chrysler?" And Steve just laser focused. He says, "I'll deal with this later." But Quentin all over the back end of him there. Quentin in the third spot ahead of Steve Cox, and Eric Allison continuing his strong run in that number 64 car.
Good to see Mackenzie Dietz out. She had to take a couple of weeks off for a little medical issue. Back out here doing what she does so well each and every week, running in that 4 spot, that 67 car. And we talk about that Dietz family, and I mean, figure 8 racing has been a part of their life forever here at Evergreen.
Yeah, good run by Keith Cook in that number 11 car. Jolene Lopato in the 0 car. Well, there she is right there. I better be quiet or something's gonna happen to her. We'll hope not. I'm gonna make a blanket apology at the end of the show for everyone that we've damaged
You
this
messed
year.
up,
I think
huh?
I may have
But it's
to.
cool to see our the 2 contenders for that championship, Cox and Borson, second and third. Nothing dirty between the 2 of them, but if a little contact happens along the way, so be it.
There's the 007, Nick Holton. He started on the pole, and as we look at the lineup, he's quite a ways down the field. Looks like there might be a bit of a right front tire issue with that machine, as things looked like they were starting to get heated up at the X, but that one car backed out of it. Bill Fleischacker is, looks like he is still maybe on the track. We're going to go inside and check out the handiwork of Steve Cox.
You can see watch that right hand. He's taking it on and off the wheel, doing a lot of it with his left hand. But there for a while, now he's into a severe left-hand turn. But you can see him kind of moving. He goes whichever corner he's going into, he drops the opposite hand off.
Huh.
And
Weird.
so kind of, totally. I mean, everybody has their
Successful, but
own
weird,
thing.
yeah.
But obviously, Steve Cox knows what he's doing.
Yep. There's Keith Cook again. A nice shot of him in the 11 as we go back on board with Steve Cox. Yeah, and everyone's got a different style and a different way that they like where the steering wheel hangs at. It looks like Steve likes to have a lot of, have it somewhat up close to him so he can pull down on it instead of using different muscles to maybe wear it out a bit. These are about 10 laps longer than usual. Usually we'll run 25 or 30 laps in their main events, but with season championships always give them a little bit more to make it through, and halfway through that right now, 40 laps make it up for the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s.
That in-car shows part of what a driver goes through, because you see the lights of the speedway flickering and flashing across the windshield. When you're out there racing, you'll see the photographer and the flash of the photographer. Sometimes if things are going really well or really bad, you can see the grandstands and you can see people moving and everything else. There's just so much that bombards your senses, let alone the noise, the vibration, and everything else that happens in that race car. But those lights flash across the windshield, they flash across your visor. Like I say, it's you do it once and you're probably hooked.
Quentin Borson is in that 4th spot as Mackenzie Dietz is now up into 3rd, followed ahead of her, Steve Cox and Eric Allison. Eric has pretty much led this thing from the get-go with Steve Cox right all over the back bumper cover of Eric's number 64 car. 4-car breakaway for the championship. 3 out of the 4 right there in your screen. Pretty impressive run by these ladies and gentlemen in the Superstock Figure 8 division.
You know, Quentin Borson's the last one to dirty a driver, but I'm going to guess right now Steve Cox is so happy to see Mackenzie Dietz between them. He knows that if something happens, he's got a little bit more time. And, you know, it's just kind of one of those things you'd like to see 2 or 3 cars between his car and Quentin's. But right now, Mackenzie Dietz is doing all she can to hold Quentin off.
Well, something else that's pretty cool, too, and we haven't mentioned this, but in the back of Steve Cox's mind, I've got to win a championship because my son, Dawson, has won a championship. And how cool would it be? And it may be, we'll ask Derek, this could be the first opportunity to have a father and son champion in 2 different divisions.
And I guarantee, but both of them are figure 8 divisions.
That's true.
So
good point.
It would be absolutely, that has to be the first that a father-son have won a championship in a figure 8 division in the same year.
Look at that. And he confirmed it. I was right. It's winding down here at the Monroe Grocery Outlet. Superstock Figure 8 will have 12 laps to go when Eric Allison brings him around. He's right coming out of turn number 4 right now. Steve Cox, Mackenzie Dietz, and Quentin Borson. It's been that same top 4 for quite a while now. As, like you said, Quentin just seems to, I mean, the car looks solid. It's planted nicely. It's not leaning too far one way or the other, and it's kind of keeping all 4 tires on the ground. But there's just some, I don't know, it's really weird. But, you know, we know Quentin's just driving his head off inside that thing, trying everything he can think of to do it. And we've had some really cool shots, in-car shots this year, the way the different setups are, you know, the interiors and what these guys need to have in order to make it through a race. Some like a lot of gauges, some like a lot of levers, and some like a lot of buttons and stuff to push. Other guys can care less. Just cover it up. I mean, just give me a windshield to go through and I'll be fine.
I heard a driver speak the other day that he spends a lot of time on creature comfort, being comfortable in a race car. I've seen guys jump in race cars they've never been in before, and it doesn't seem to bother them. And other drivers, you know, like that same fit, same feel. Don't move this seat a quarter of an inch, or you know, change a pedal or whatever it is. Take a piece of padding out. You got a little bit of intersection action coming up.
There we go.
You know, a lot of drivers spend inordinate amount of time making sure they're comfortable.
All right, back in with Mackenzie Dietz, and there's one of those kind of, I don't want to say Spartan interiors.
Oh, she just took a shot right there.
Come on, Mackenzie, straighten her around.
A banker by day.
Is she?
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, cool. You
Good
know.
for her.
You imagine at the bank. So, what'd you do this weekend? I drove my figure 8 car. Huh?
Yeah, I that would be very cool to be able to do that. But she is looks really calm and relaxed inside that thing, and she's got my respect. Oh man, that was almost pretty, almost right there.
All Jillian had to do was lift a little bit, and she'd have been junked.
I think as we kind of look back here as the laps are
There's
winding
another one
down.
coming.
Oh! Let's see, I'll keep it right here. Keep that. Mackenzie will make it around there. She's in that 3rd spot. Make it through that time. Yeah, that one was pretty close. I think the highlight of the year in this division was when the one time, and I was so glad that we were able to get it, was when Doug Belfell got his win in this division. Just, you know.
You know, we called Doug out a couple of weeks ago, and he didn't come back again.
I
so,
know. I know.
All right, Mr. Delfall, you're off the Christmas card list.
Well, you are Tom's, not mine, Doug. You know that. You know that. But I thought that was just one of the cool moments of this year was him coming out. He comes out by himself. If somebody's there to help him, he will gladly take it. But it was just so cool. And this has been such a fun division. I've always been a huge fan of this type of figure 8 racing. And we've made comments many, many times about how much fun it was to watch the Buzz Inn Steakhouse Stinger 8s in 2022. So I'd love to see this car this class double in car counts. It is so exciting when there's 2 or 3 times as many cars out there. Beautiful job. Well done. We're going to wrap this one up.
Made that easy, huh? She made that look easy.
She did. And the laps are Getting towards the end of this one, Steve Cox looks like he's on his way to a championship in the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure Eights. Quentin Morrison who keeps it up, will be in the second spot. Mackenzie Dietz will come in. White flag out. One more to go. Eric Allison is going to take him home.
You know, you got to just, what's going through Quentin Morrison's mind. He's won championships. He wants this one badly too. And he's thinking, God, it's just going out the window as they come down out of the final turn for that checkered flag.
And there it is.
Mr. Eric Allison picks up the win, followed by your 2020 champion, Steve Cox, Mackenzie Dietz, Quentin Morrison, who finished second in points for the year.
Good job. Keith Cook has also wrapped it up too. Jillian Lopato, Jessica Wilkinson, Nick Holton, Bill Fleischacker, and Ryan Clark. Ryan out after 10 laps. All right, we are going to, if I understand correctly, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and we'll listen to what these guys have to say. Brandy Chavez, who we got to thank Brandy and Kyler Hope for all of their work all season long. Derek Cobbs with his one brilliant fill-in job doing interviews and stuff. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll hear from the top three and the champion for the Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure Eights here on Home Track Heroes.